Churnwell, Emblem, Digital. Churnwell, Emblem, Churnwell, You're listening to Andy Churnwell on Emblem Digital.
Hi, this is Gareth Southgate. I may have missed that penalty in 1996, but if there's one thing for sure, I won't be missing Emblem FM, the online version of which is called Emblem Digital. Get in.
You're listening to a special Brexit edition of the Andy Churnwell Show on Emblem Digital. Make your mark with a memorable music mix. What a show we've got for you today. Fancy a chat? Why not give us a call on 01632 960 310 or text us on 434 555. Quick look at today's papers. The Sun report on the latest on teleboat Greg Wallace, who today has finally got 7 years for Millwall. An interesting story in the Telegraph. Michael Gove MP sleeps in special Dogtanian pyjamas which he believes give him special big boy powers. Oh, and here's a good story. This is in the Express. Asbestos to make comeback as Britain says adios to EU madness. And this is a great thing, and one of the reasons why I wanted this to be a special Brexit edition of the show. I'm a big asbestos fan, as you may know if you're a regular listener. Let me be frank, asbestos never did me any harm. I remember when I was a boy going with my father to the football, Guildford FC, a good Surrey team, and he'd give me a brick of asbestos to lick while I stood on the terraces singing, "Hurrah for Guildford! Hip hip!" Now for me this promised to bring back asbestos after the EU outlawed it because health and safety is just the beginning. We need to bring back anything we can think of, people. That strip of wood in houses that goes all around the room at about hand height. It really sets the room off nicely. What's it called? That's right, the dildo rail. The EU outlawed that, I think. So let's bring it back. What are we waiting for? Smoking in pubs, TV's Handy Andy, the music of Bucks Fizz. Bring it all back home, baby, as Bob Dylan said. The campaign begins here, people. Ring in and let me know what needs bringing back. Now, my producer Rachel tells me we already have Barry from Swindon on the line, who, I understand, is very heated about this issue. It's great to have you on, Barry.
I just had to call in. I really feel there's been a Brexit betrayal, and we need to get that Brexit on track.
Completely agree, Barry. What would you do if our politicians turn around and say, Barry, no more Brexit?
I would not hesitate to pick up a rifle. I know my way around an arm. I've quite often on a weekend, I'm in the TA. I'm a trained soldier. I could kill a man with my bare hands or a rifle. Take several out at one time.
You would not hesitate to pick up a rifle if we are betrayed over Brexit?
I would not, no. I've watched many a war film.
Okay, Barry, so who would be your first target on this Brexit betrayal?
Ramonas, chiefly.
Okay, so we're looking at a situation where you would resort to violence over Brexit.
Obviously a last resort, but my demands are clear. Brexit now, no questions asked.
Because I think you're on the side of Mark Francois, who also ex-TA, a little bit like yourself. He wants to see Brexit carried through, and you might be joined on your march, you ex-TA men. How do you feel about being on the side of Mr. Mark?
He's a great man. He knows his way around a pepper army. Ration food, we call that in the TA. Loves pepper army. He Derrily Dunkers. We pack them in our rations packs, and we could live off that for weeks.
Look, you say you're very angry about it. I've got to agree, Barry. Brexit is to my generation what Slipknot is to younger people. Before Brexit, I used to shut myself away in my 7-bedroom house in Surrey and scream, "Why doesn't anybody understand me?" But Brexit has taught me that I'm not alone. There are others like me out there. Have you learned anything from Brexit about your comrades in arms?
If they don't listen to my demands, I will attack the washing line in a mad fit of rage. Ask my ex-wife Brenda, she knows. I'm not messing about here. I wish to dance to the seductive rhythms of Brexit, to submit myself to its unyielding grasp. I shall fan its flames and allow its warmth to engulf my pagan body. I shall throw myself on my ex-wife Karen's lawn, for I have become Brexit incarnate.
Wow, well, thank you, Barry. We all admire your commitment. There, you're roaring over the phone. How angry are you, Barry?
I'm absolutely furious.
Give us another
I'm wearing
roar.
all my camo gear, and I've just watched some army documentaries on the military channel, Military TV.
Excellent. I watched Commando last night. What a great film.
It's a classic, and I think we can definitely use some of those tactics. I sometimes work alone. I'm an assassin. I've actually got a black belt in karate that I obtained from the local leisure centre. So go ahead, make my day. Stop Brexit at your own peril, because, buddy, I've just had a ludicrously large pub lunch, and I am ready to bring the pain. I've actually made some special badges as well. They say Elite Brexit Brigade Alpha Force on them.
Now, Barry, what do you say to people who would argue that there's no economic case for Brexit?
I don't care about economics. What I care about is hard war. I want people to suffer like I have. I want people to know what it feels like to have nothing, like I know how it feels, because my ex-wife left me for a younger man who drives a Skoda, and I want everybody to suffer the same way I have suffered.
Is that your way of saying you want sovereignty for Britain?
Yes.
Absolutely. Thanks.
I have killed for Brexit.
Barry! Who have you killed? Barry, you haven't killed anyone yet, have you?
I killed a cat.
Barry! Why did you kill a cat?
It was a Remain cat. It was from a Remain household. That was my calling card.
Barry,
I kill cats.
Cats are apolitical.
This is my calling card. If you receive a dead cat through the mail, you know what you've done. It had a blue and yellow colour on. Need I say more?
Barry, the cat. Okay, thanks, Barry. We're going to move on to our next caller now. Barry there, who killed a cat for Brexit. Very excited now. I've just been told by producer Rachel we've got a celebrity caller on the line. Hello, sir or madam? Who is this? Introduce yourself.
Guess who's back? Back again. Sean Bean's back. Hello, friend. Hello, how you doing, you bastard?
Hello, Sean.
Just calling in, I heard you talking about breakfast. I'm a big breakfast fan, me.
Well,
Lovely load of beans, Sean Bean.
it's
beans.
great to have you calling in again, Sean. We're actually talking about
No
Brexit, not breakfast.
All right, what's that then? What's this Brexit?
Brexit.
Is it like a type of breakfast?
Sean, have you been living under a rock for the last 3 years?
No, I'm a busy man. I've got lots of projects, and that's why I was calling. I was just calling really to just let you know what I've been up to.
Well, a minute ago you said you were calling about breakfast, so is it regarding breakfast?
That was one of the things. It's a new thing called I call it the Quattro bean, and it's like a savoury, like mullicone really. And in one side it's got, well, there's four obviously. There's beans in one bit, and
baked beans.
Yeah, baked beans, and then there's bitter in the other. You know, like John Smith's, lovely John Smith's in one, and then you got another corner that's got chips in it, defrosted. Unfortunately, I can't work out the technology, so you know it's tricky because you don't need to heat up the chips without heating up also the bitter and the.
Oh, Sean.
And the beans. Well, you want the beans, well, I'm not here, but then the gravy in the other one anyway.
Sean, it sounded almost Italian
settlement.
when he said quattro bean. I thought it was going to be a nice savoury dish, but you've just described baked beans in a
I didn't think
Muller
that.
yogurt case. It
I
does
just
not
read
sound
that. I
appealing.
read Quattro on a pizza menu, and I thought, yeah, that's perfect, Quattro bean. But yeah, I didn't think it was Italian. Is that Italian?
Yes, Sean, that's Italian.
All right. Well, anyway, that was my first thing. The second thing, you'll be pleased to hear this, Andy. We've got a new film out. You know my Jim Beam, which is Jim, not Jim Beam, the Jim Bond. You know.
Yes, you told us all about it on the last.
It's like James Bond, but he's a northerner.
Yeah.
Well, this one is called Bean 2, Judgment Day, and it's the sequel.
Are you shooting it on your own again?
I've filmed most of it on my phone already, and it's got more action in this one. It's fucking nutting left, right, and centre.
Excellent. Did you find a distribution deal for your first feature film?
Well, yeah, they did. They're selling it in the computer exchange. I just keep handing the DVDs in, and people keep picking them up. So it's, well, I presume they do. You know, every time I go in, there's not one left.
So when you say they're selling it in computer exchange, do you mean the franchise is selling it across the country, or do you mean they're selling it?
And I just hand them in, and I go back later. And
you mean one? So sorry to push on this point, but one specific store where you're handing them in is selling them.
Yeah,
Sheffield Computer Exchange.
Yep. Just hand them in, and I've done the cover. The problem is I don't have a printer at home, so what I do is I draw it in felt tip pen.
Okay, we just got to be careful on the show because of commercial inaccuracy. So Computer Exchange is not selling your first film. You're just putting the Sheffield Computer Exchange.
I keep handing the DVDs in. Yeah, I don't know. I also do charity shop as well. I drop them in there as well. I just go around Sheffield handing them out and say, "Do you want to sell that?" And I might hand them a $5. Say, get rid of them, sell that.
So you're literally paying the shop to sell your DVDs.
I suppose you could say that, but I mean they're flying off the shelves because I never fucking see them on the shelves.
But how much are customers paying for the DVDs?
I don't know. You got to ask them, I suppose. Ask the retailers. If you want to buy it, just, I suppose, go down and have a word with them. Computer exchange.
Right, Sean, have you had any drinks today?
Well, you know me.
Unfortunately, Emblem Digital is familiar with you by this point.
I've had a few cans. Precisely how many, I can't remember. But
it is 10:45 a.m.
Yeah, it's just a breakfast drink, isn't it, John Smith's?
With your Quattro bean.
Well, yeah, that's just it's not. You can't buy them yet, but they soon will be. Unfortunately, pies have, the Lidl Sunderland apparently have taken off the market, which is
very sad to hear that, Sean. I think we did unfortunately see that coming, though, didn't we?
Well, I don't know about that. They're very tasty pies, lovely pies, full of beans, but they didn't want them. So I've got loads at home, and that's going to last me for probably a few years, I think.
Okay, well, Sean, we've heard disturbing reports recently about you appearing on the set of Game of Thrones in full Eddard Stark gear.
Right, yeah.
In full costume, claiming to be shooting a prequel whilst they're live. There's been a little bit of negative reports about you from the production team.
I don't know why they'd be negative.
Well, they say you've been turning up drunk on set in Eddard Stark costume.
They should be fucking happy about that, you know.
But Sean, your character was beheaded at the end of season 1. How are they going to shoot more with you?
They've got fucking dragons in this show, you know. I'll fucking turn up. There's magic in it, you know. Just fucking, there's magic.
Yeah, but I don't think you're written into the book as one of the White Walkers.
The fucking book? It's a TV series.
It's based on a book, Sean.
I wouldn't know.
You wouldn't know that the entire series is based on George R.R. Martin's novels.
Magic. It's just fucking put me in again.
I think we should stop you about Game of Thrones there, Sean, because the production team are not going to be happy with you.
How's this one there? I got another project on the go, and it's called You Just Got Beamed. Do you want to hear about that?
Very briefly, Sean. We are coming up to the commercial break.
Okay, you just got beamed is fucking. Have you seen Punked?
I've seen a video on you Twitter naked shouting "Winter is coming," and I don't want to describe what happened next. This is very disturbing, Sean. Can you please promise me you're going to stop drinking as much as you do?
Well, just hear me out on my project, yeah. Okay, so you just got beamed.
Rachel, why did you?
It's like Punked. Well, it's like a prank show. Like it's kind of like Noel Edmonds, but it's with me, and I'm fucking just going around Sheffield and I'm filming people, and I'm just like, you just got beamed, and I'm doing pranks on him, and they're just like, who the fuck are you? And I'm just like, I'm Sean Bean. You just got beamed. Another project.
Oh.
Sheffield's Sexiest Slappers 7. DVD's out Monday.
It's that.
And I narrate it.
What do you narrate?
It's like, it's slappers and they're shagging a bit, I'm not doing it. It's just the voice and narrating it.
It's a little bit of a climb down of Game of Thrones, don't you think, Sean?
It pays the bills. It got 300 quid for that one.
Thank you.
Do you know how many Quattro beans you could buy with that?
I'm sure lots.
All right, gotta go now anyway.
Well, thanks so much for calling in, Sean. Take it easy on the beers.
Yeah, will do. Just cracked open another.
Oh.
So I'll be calling in. Maybe I'll turn up at the studio, don't know.
Please don't. Thank you, Sean. Okay, we got the next caller on the line. Hello, you're speaking to Mr. Andy.
It's me again. I'm just calling back because I just realised I said something really wrong.
Oh, Rachel, why did you let him back on?
I said fucking, instead of Judgment Bean is what it is, my film. Bean 2, Judgment Bean. And I said Judgment Day because that's already a film. So I got that wrong. Also, right, I just thought, I've got all these fucking bean pies in the house. Got loads of them, just like stacked up on things. Why don't we fucking do a competition? And you could give them away.
Okay, Sean. We'll take that into consideration.
Right.
Well, maybe producer Rachel can take that on board since she's so keen on letting you call back in.
Right, yep.
She can. Why don't you go and have a chat with her now, actually, on the phone?
Yeah,
she can talk to you for the rest of the morning since that's apparently what she likes doing.
All right, yep.
Come down and have a lovely bit of beef at Stan Butts, Bedminster, Bristol. We've got lovely beef, bacon, lovely bit of tripe, and for Mrs. we've got her favourite liver. Yeah, we got it all here at Stan Butts, Bedminster, Bristol. From Bemmy to Brislington, it's agreed. We all love a bit of beef. Why not pop down for a chat at Stan Butts, Bedminster, Bristol on East Street, down a bit from Cash Converters. Stan Butts.
Next on the line, we've got Dougal McTavish from Livingston. How are you doing, Dougal?
Hi, Andy. How you doing?
Well, I've been better. Brexit might not happen at this rate.
Well, I'm just calling up because I think that we should be heading towards independence. I think we need to leave as soon as possible.
You won't hear any argument from me, Dougal. You're absolutely right. But how do we get our politicians to see this?
Well, they just need to listen to us. I mean, if you look at the numbers, it was a very close call, but I think the numbers are shifting now, shifting in our favour. We need to take control of that and just get it sorted, man. Because I'm fucking fed up.
I would say we already had the numbers in the vote, and they need to respect the democratic will of the people.
I totally agree with you there, Andy. I think we should definitely respect the opinion of the people, and I think that the numbers may have been close, but I think now there's going to be a massive divide, and I think that's what we should be listening to, the people.
Absolutely. So if the country was run by you, Dougal, what would you implement tomorrow if you had absolute power?
Well, I mean, I'd have to say I'd bring up the old borders, and I would reignite the old alliances.
The old alliances? Which ones are you referring to there?
Yeah, you know, the Scots and the French, and by through the French, the rest of Europe, you know.
The what? Huh?
Oh yeah, I mean, I think Scottish independence is really important, and
Scottish independence? Dougal, we're talking about Brexit.
Aye, and that's what I'm talking about. I think Scotland should leave Britain if you guys are going to leave Europe.
Rachel, where did you get this guy from? Cut him off. Okay, well, next up, I'm gonna get a new opinion on the line. I'm going to ring my good friend Grant Shapps' house up, see if we can get some more answers to these problems that our country is facing. We just dialed that in now, and we're ringing.
Hello, Grant Shapps speaking.
Hello, Grant. It's your good buddy, Andy Churnwell here. You're live on Emblem Digital.
Sorry, can you repeat that?
It's your friend, Andy Churnwell. You're live on the radio, Grant.
Andy. It's not very nice to speak to you. You say I'm live on the radio.
That's right, live on Emblem Digital. Just calling up to get your opinions on Brexit, if that's all right.
Well, I don't like to. I don't really like to comment just off the cuff in such a way. Obviously, I'm a big supporter of Theresa May's Brexit.
Oh, well, you know, when we were in the King's Head in Great Missenden a couple of weeks ago, you said about giving you a call when we were at the local meeting regarding.
I said, give me a call. I probably wouldn't have said that.
Well, you said, I was sitting in the audience of your constituency meeting, and he said, if you have any issues at all, give the office a call. And, you know, your home is often your office, isn't it? So took that to mean your home. So thought I'd give it a call.
Next time, don't do that. But, I mean, since you've asked, a very passionate issue, Brexit. Don't want to get too involved in it. As I say, I'm at home. I've got things to do. I've got people to see. I'm enjoying a nice glass of beer and enjoying some bingo as well. But,
well, Grant, we've got some very, very frustrated people calling into the show. Barry from Swindon said he would pick up a rifle and shoot dead the Brexit betrayers.
Oh, God. We certainly don't want that in the Conservative Party.
Well, he's already killed a cat, a Remain cat.
That is horrific. I mean, the Tories, I'm not sure how that's pulled, cat killing, but I would hesitate to say that that's not something that Theresa May would...
Okay, well, I understand that, Grant, but you've got to understand a lot of our listeners are very upset over Brexit, and they see you as taking a little bit of on-the-fence stance on the issue. We want to see a hard Brexit, and we want to see hard Brexit now. What would you say to our listeners?
I would say there's nothing wrong about sitting down, having a nice cup of tea. I've got several mugs I like to drink out of, and just addressing things in a clear and calm manner.
Okay, Grant. Well, I've got tweets here, and we've got various listeners to my show. We've got Steve for Brexit Hardman Baker has just tweeted, Grant Shapps, what a little pussy. When's he going to join the party? What do you say to Steve Baker?
Well, I think Steve Baker is a great guy.
Intimidated by Steve?
I must say he's a little bit common for my liking. I'm more of a home counties crowd kind of a guy. I'm not an edgy guy. I'm more of a sit at home, have a flake, might have a chocolate flake and a cup of tea, and watch one of the programs that are so popular these days. The Broadchurch. I love Broadchurch.
Okay, Grant. I think I'm getting the picture. So when the apocalypse comes and the great Brexit betrayal happens, we can't rely on Mr. Shapps to join the chaps.
I mean, I'd really rather cut this call. Now I've got things I need to be doing, gardening. I'm very big into gardening as well. Monty Don.
I think that's fine, Grant, as we've learned a little bit more about you over the last 5 minutes, and I'm not sure you're someone to be relied on with the great Brexit betrayal. Okay. So I think I'm quite happy to cut this phone call short. Thank you.
Okay. Goodbye.
Apologies for the poor audio quality of Grant Shapps there. Perhaps he was in his wine cellar. Okay, next on the line we've got from Aberdeen, Fraser McAverty. Hello, Fraser.
All right, Andy. It's actually McAverty. I'll appreciate if you get my name right,
Oh, okay. McAverty.
McAverty, yeah.
McAverty.
There's no A, it's just small c. I mean, is that difficult?
McAverty.
Yes, that'll do me.
Okay.
Sir?
Well, now we've established that. What's your views on Brexit, Fraser?
Well, I think we need to have the people's vote. I think we should take a revote because I think everyone's changed since then. I think a lot of the people that voted Leave have died. Let's get that there, eh? And I think a lot of the 16-year-olds that have now had to grow up with that are now saying what a shitstorm. Sorry, pardon my language. Can I say shit? Actually, what a shitstorm it's become, and they want change. They don't want any of that. They want Remain as well.
So you would take a sledgehammer to democracy and reverse the will of the British people?
Well, it's not really democracy if you're not really doing the will of the people, is it?
We already had a vote. There's no need for a second vote.
We had one vote. We had one vote to say whether we should execute Article 50, but we didn't know what we were actually voting for.
Fraser, there's people like Barry in Swindon who would take a rifle to your house and shoot you as a Brexit betrayer. What would you say to Barry?
What? Barry? He needs to get himself on Tinder or Grindr or something, because that's what, he just needs to find a lady rather than killing cats. What's wrong with him? Killing cats? And do you know what? It's called a dado rail, you fucking numpty.
It's a dildo rail.
I know you probably like the dildos, but it's a dado rail, alright?
I've got a dildo rail in the middle of my living room.
Well, I mean,
and it protrudes beautifully from the wall.
Whatever you do in your spare time is none of our business. And anyway, Andy, you said the EU had banned dildo rails, as you call them. Why have you got one? They're illegal? Are you a criminal?
The minute we voted to leave the EU, I got a dildo rail and put it straight up in my lounge.
Straight up your arse?
As an act of defiance against the European Union regulations, I am proud of my dildo rails.
Well, keep that to yourself, son. You don't want your listeners judging you too much,
We've just had a tweet, Steve the Brexit Hardman Baker, saying, I'd take Fraser outside and give him a fisting. You know what, Fraser? You and your kind would have us...
My kind?
You would have us...
What do you mean by my kind?
You would have us in the European Union, trapped in a ring of regulation, unable to trade with great countries like the Faroe Islands, The Philippines, New Zealand. We can go to New Zealand and get lamb.
Well, we do already get lamb from New Zealand, I'll have you know. But being a sheep farmer myself...
I've got no idea what... I can hardly understand
Have you ever
your
eaten
voice.
puffin, eh? Have you ever eaten puffin?
No, I've never eaten puffin. What a
That's
ridiculous
all the
thing to
Faroes
say.
have. Puffin and sheeps.
Steve, the Brexit hardman baker, is coming for you.
I bet he is, the dirty bastard.
You and your elitist friends are going to be first against the Brexit wall when the EU is left in a burning pile of rubbish.
Elitist friends.
You would
Listen
keep us
to your
trapped.
accent, mate. You're posh. You're public school boy all the way. We all went to the same school in the sheep hut when I was a boy.
Okay, well, Fraser, how
Yeah.
would you resolve this Brexit debate?
Nicola Sturgeon should be put in charge of the whole country because she can talk down every one of your politicians in a debate and she comes at it with intelligence and integrity.
A Scottish woman in charge of the United Kingdom?
Aye, eh?
Are you mad? Have you had too much haggis today, Fraser?
Hey,
Have you been swimming...
that's racist.
Have you been swimming in a sea of imaginary monsters like you all do up there? Have you been deep fried in a kebab house alongside some pizza and Mars bars?
Do you know what? Bite my shite.
Ugh! Absolutely sickening. If there's any more Scottish people who want to call in and give me that spiel, don't. Rachel, who the hell have you got on next for me? I am seething!
Hello, Andy. This is Daniel Churnwell of Radio 2. But I was just sort of ring in and chat to you about Brexit. You didn't sound very happy, and I want Andy to be happy because Andy's my brother. He's my older brother. I've always looked up to him, even though I'm on that slightly higher salary. Radio 2, BBC Radio 2 salary.
Are you still sitting on the fence about everything, Dan, in order to climb that slippery ladder you've managed to crawl up?
I wouldn't say it, I wouldn't quite put it in that sort of language. I suppose I am just a little less heated than you about things. You know, I was hanging out with some celebrities the other day on the show, and I said, you know what? Life is too short. Who cares about Brexit? It's fine. It will sort itself out. We don't need to get all angry about it. You know, just listen to some smooth music, and that's fine, you know?
Well, that's absolute bollocks, brother. I know you're hanging out with Fern Cotton and
Fern Cotton
Chris
is
Evans,
Chris Evans, great guy.
but
They're always asking about you, Andy. You should come round.
what are you doing for the Brexit cause that is actually helping people, Dan, on your stupid
playing-
show?
Well, come on, Andy. Come on. I played great music. Doobie Brothers. I've just played. Michael McDonald. Yamo Be There. Just playing cool music. I love the British public. We just chilling with some Doobie Brothers. Just chill out, Andy. It's okay. It's so sad to see you since your divorce. You got very angry. It's fine. Just chill out, okay? You know?
Fuck you. I'm going to take my Brexit British flag, I'm going to fly it on my sailing boat that I have harboured at Portsmouth, that I go out with Brian and D-Law. We go out on it, we have a few cans, we talk about Brexit, and then we sail back to Portsmouth and have a Toby's Carvery chicken, a hunter's chicken, and we discuss how we can move this country forward. What are you discussing on a daily basis on your show other than, ooh, the badgers are in trouble, green, global warming, vegetarian Sunday roast?
Listen, I know you don't like Chris Packham. He's a great friend of mine, okay? I know you're all countryside alliance. That's fine. I've got no problem with that. I like to hang out with a slightly different crowd. I suppose a sort of more successful crowd.
I put it to you, Dan, that you're a ponce.
Well, there's no need. There's no need for this, Andy. I keep reaching out to you. You keep batting away the olive branches. It's fine, okay? I earn a little bit more than you. I want that BBC salary. It's fine. I'm reaching out to you. Take the olive branch, please.
I hate you. Since we were young, you were always that little slug at the big meetings and the big events where you could cozy up to the executives at the television channels. You were there going, "Oh, I'm Dan Churnwell." Whereas I had that swagger, which maybe didn't go down so well in some corners. You are a one-show peak radio hour on Radio 2, little sit on the fence. You are pathetic, and I hope that you...
Hello, assistant. Hello.
Hello, who's this?
Sorry, this is Daniel's assistant. He's had his meditation appointment. He's had to go. I'm sorry. Thank you. Okay, bye.
Well, that was my brother Dan. As you can tell, listeners, he always makes a complete idiot of himself. We'll follow that discussion at the Churnwell Easter luncheon.
Get the Fabrique look with Fabrique Chic, specially engineered by Monique. And go on fluke for a crazy new style that's 2 parts sleek and 4/5 unique. And what's Fabrique? Fabrique is fabulous plus reek. A look that sparkles and shines for a wild, freaky look that erodes shabbiness and gives you an irrepressible flash finish mystique. So don't get bogged down. Be a freak with Fabrique Chic, specially engineered by Monique. And hit the London streets on fleek. Fabrique Chic, only available at Motique retailers. See in store for details. Fabrique, get on your face.
Right, as if today wasn't going bad enough, we've now got Emblem Digital sponsor Braincase Films. We've got CEO Rob on the line.
Hi, nice to be here, Andy. I hope you're having a great time.
Well, as I just said, I'm having a terrible time. Not made any better by having you on.
That's not really very nice. I was just voted third best CEO of all time in a Twitter poll held by the Braincase Twitter account.
How many people were in that poll, Rob?
Well, there were 5.
You were 3 out of 5.
They were the top CEOs.
And how many people voted?
Richard Branson was slightly ahead of me.
How many people voted?
Sir Philip Green. You may have heard of him. He's one of the best CEOs.
Rob, how many people voted in this poll?
5 people.
5 people voted, and you have voted third best.
One of them was myself. But I think, it takes humility to vote for yourself in a Twitter poll.
And maybe a giant ego as well.
I don't know about that. But, it's great,
Why are you on the show today, Rob?
Well, I wanted to talk about the rebranding of the channel. Emblem Digital is a great channel. I'm not gonna lie.
Why would you lie?
I don't know. Don't lie. And that's one of the things that I don't do. I don't beat about the bush. That's one of the things you need to know about me. I don't beat about the bush, and I don't lie. Why would I beat about the bush? Why would I do that? I don't lie. I definitely don't beat about the bush.
You are very off topic currently, which would suggest you are beating about the bush.
I don't beat about the bush. That's one thing you should know about me. As a CEO, that's my first rule. Don't beat about the bush.
It's Braincase Rob on the line, in case you've forgotten, listeners, who has gone so far off topic, I've got no idea what he's talking about. What did he call in for, Rob?
We wanted to rebrand the channel, Emblem Digital. I mean, it's done well. It's served its purpose, but we need to rebrand it. BBC have changed they've upped the ante, let's say, and what they've done is they've 6 Music, it's BBC Sounds. How about that? We're going to call the channel Emblem Digital on Braincase Sounds. Okay.
It's
new channel. It's going to be called Emblem Digital on Braincase Sounds.
Is that to sound closer to BBC Sounds?
Yeah, it's sort of, yeah, and it's with a Z rather than an S, because people like that. They like a kind of funky urban vibe. about it. Sounds with a Z.
Even though it's not a real word.
Sounds is a word. Yeah, it's a play on a pre-existing word. Sounds, not an S, with a Z.
And how is the show going to change with this rebranding? Is there going to be more money spent on advertising?
I think it's kind of a younger audience might be into it, you know.
Because there's a Z on the end of sounds.
Yeah, you've got it, Andy. Well done. Listen, Andy, young people, they like names like that. They advertise for you, right? Okay. I saw a guy the other day with a Coca-Cola t-shirt on. I was like, are they paying him? No, he'd actually gone out and bought that t-shirt. And now I'm wearing one. Because, you know, wearing an advert is cool these days. And I think young people are going to start wearing Emblem Digital and Braincase Sounds, you know? They might wear a t-shirt.
Well, I certainly hope so. That might increase our listenership. It's around the 10 mark at the moment, so could be improved upon. The current drama surrounding your life, Rob.
Yeah.
So you were recently engaged in a trial at The Hague for alleged war crimes in Kazakhstan. So you claim that you gave money to an investor you were told was investing in Bitcoin in Shoreditch. Is that correct?
Yeah, I mean, it was a perfectly innocent mistake on my part. You know, I'm a great CEO. My employees really love me. And I invested this money, and then people were saying, oh my God, you've like started 2 wars in Kazakhstan. And I was like, what the fuck is Kazakhstan? And, you know, apparently there's 2 wars going on there. And they were like, you've done that.
Kazakhstani warlord Hamza Abdullah Murad was seen holding the heads of his enemies during a YouTube live stream. And he said thank you to Braincase Rob on the live stream due to the money you'd injected into his terrorizing campaign.
I don't know, maybe that's like another Braincase Rob. I don't know how common the name is.
Okay, Rob, we'll move on from there, as I don't think it's quite sinking in. We'll have to see how your trial pans out. There is more issues, drama, and negative situations surrounding your company as London's apparently cool new dining experience.
Fucking Skydine. This is kind of Jason's. Jason's the other hot honcho here at Braincase. It's kind of his concept. He's very into dining. It's his baby.
Okay, well, we need some accountability. So maybe you could put Jason on so we can.
I will. I'll just say one thing. Other than Heston Blumenthal, I think he's probably the go-to guru on food in London at the moment. So before you bring out the courts on this one, just remember that, okay? I'm going to hand over to Jason now.
Hi, Andy. How are you doing?
Well, I'm good, but you're having a bit of difficulty with your new Tilbury Docks dining experience, aren't you?
I don't know what you're talking about.
So the Braincase Skydine promises
It's a success, yeah.
Promises an elite dining experience.
Cutting edge.
Well, cutting could certainly be an adjective appropriate to this, as the company Sanderson's Communications, who were lifted into the sky.
Yeah.
Well, so
they had a great dining experience.
Well, let me explain to the listeners first.
What's your problem?
Your experience, it is a balloon-like flotation device that lifts up a dining table into the sky. Is that correct?
I think you'll find it's a construction crane that lifts up the dining table, and everyone has a great time. I don't know what the problem is.
So, last week the crane failed. It wasn't part of a crane-safe scheme, as has been accounted by the courts. And an entire company, Sanderson's Communications, have gone missing. All that we've seen so far is a leg in the Thames belonging to CEO Mark Difford.
Well, that's just circumstantial. I mean,
So circumstantial as in Sanderson's Communications booked in and was seen taking themselves into the sky on your dining experience, and it's circumstantial they never came back down.
They had a great time, and they did what they had to do afterwards. So I'm not here to judge.
So what would you say to Mark Difford's wife now that his leg has been found in the Thames?
I would say she should have been a better wife.
Well, the problem is, Jason, there's unaccounted intestines below the crane that you hire as your dining experience. There's a lung next to the foot of the crane. There's some long and short intestines running along the footbridge adjacent to the crane.
Well, what can I say is that some people might not like our food offerings, so they just throw it over the side.
Well, there was some of your food found, but it was within organs that have fallen from the sky.
Well, that's still to be proven. We stuff organs with our food, and if people don't like it, they sometimes just throw it over the side. I mean, some people just don't know good food when they see it.
You feed your diners organs full of meals.
Listen.
I'm listening.
Listen. We give people a unique experience, and we also give them good food, and that's the important thing. Is like, even if they were eating that food underground, they'd love it.
So your crane operator, Jack Carmel, has fled. Reportedly, he's in Spain somewhere. He's the only possible eyewitness.
What can I say?
Why would that be, Jason?
It's the end of the
Why would the only man who would have seen them fall from the sky to their deaths...
If you just let me speak. It's the end of the tax year. Some people have got to spend some money before the tax man takes it. You know what I'm saying? So he may be on a business trip to Spain or somewhere, but that's, he's a freelancer. That's his thing. That's nothing to do with us.
Okay, well, thanks very much for that, Jason. I'm sure the police will find out what has happened eventually.
Andy just wanted to interject there. You seemed irate, but, as we've just established, people made it back to the ground. What they do on the ground is their own choice, and we cannot be held responsible for their own actions. Anyway, really want you to play my new single, which, as you know, as Braincase sponsor your show, I thought maybe you could just do that for me. It's a biggie, I know, but just going to call that favourite.
Okay, Rob, well, what's the single called? I'll introduce
it for you. It's called Success Machine, and it's an autobiographical song. I really hope you guys enjoy it. You can come down, watch me at the Funty Lounge in Shoreditch. It's going to be great.
Okay, listeners, well, thanks so much for tuning in to Emblem Digital today. If you can stomach it, Braincase Rob has his new single, Success Machine, on now.
Funty Lounge in Shoreditch.
Auntie Lounge in Shoreditch.